Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising up every time we fail." Year after year on March 17th, thousands of people, young and old, from all ethnic backgrounds, come to join Bostonians along the streets of South Boston to celebrate Ireland's patron saint, St. Patrick. For all Americans, it has become a symbolic celebration of our immigrant roots, our struggle for freedom, and our escape from religious persecution. Unbeknownst to some, these very streets lay atop one of the major catalysts in the Revolutionary War, as the first area that rose up against English oppression and tyranny. Families from the surrounding towns were the first to fight back and drive away the most powerful of military forces, the British Army. A force which until that point had not been challenged by any country, especially a small congregation of undeveloped colonies.
These are tough guys who have been through a lot. They're people you might consider dregs of society almost, who have become this very potent fighting force.
And as we all know, they moved in to Dorchester Neck, moved up onto what we call Dorchester Heights today. And there, again, under cover of darkness, under cover of secrecy, they mounted the guns that had been brought down from Ticonderoga and leveled them down from the heights, leveled them onto the fleets, the ships of the British that were anchored in Boston Harbor.
On this day in 1776, watching from Dorchester Heights, the colonial militia, led by General George Washington of the Continental Army, did the unimaginable. They drove the mighty British warships out of Boston Harbor.
From the viewpoint of the American rebels, this was a very, very significant military victory. One that for the first time even may had given them the sense that, by golly, we can do this, we can win this.
Let us imagine that what happened on that day didn't happen. That is, that the British did not evacuate Boston, that the British stayed in Boston and held the town. Well, how might that have changed history? We'd probably still be singing God Save the Queen.
March 17th, Evacuation Day, deserves its place amongst the most important nation-building victories in American history. The South Boston Citizens Association, the oldest civic group in the country, along with the Historical Society and the Allied War Veterans Council, plan a week-long tribute to history and the community through fun and interesting programs and family activities.
The South Boston Citizens Association and the South Boston Historical Society sponsor an essay poster contest for kids in the schools in South Boston, either kids who live in South Boston or kids who go to school in South Boston. We had probably about 80 kids who participated in this, either writing an essay on why Dorchester Heights is important, or why Henry Knox is important, why we honor him, or drawing pictures of Dorchester Heights or of the parade. And it's very important to get kids involved in this history.
Many political and community leaders who have had their lives shaped by South Boston testify to the importance of Evacuation Day.
Evacuation Day, St. Patrick's Day, will always be about family, friends, and will always be about South Boston.
History and tradition are cornerstones of a community built on unrepentant pride and unequivocal loyalty. In the march for higher ground, battles are won or lost because of the courage of the combatants to defend their turf. The parade, the people, and the parties will come and go, as they do every year. However, over the course of the next few months, a crucial decision will be made, either to keep Evacuation Day as a local holiday, or dispose of it for the upcoming year. Again, the folks living in Boston, especially the people of South Boston, are being challenged and called to stand up for their culture and their customs.
We have maintained tried to maintain, and I think we do a fairly good job maintaining the history. If you don't remember your history, you got no future. That's kind of what I go by.